Engine room secure.
Skrulls are the bad guys.
With Star-Lord, Jane Foster, and a God Killer joining Thor: Love and Thunder, is Odinson going to be outnumbered?
I can't do this. I shouldn't have come.
Marvel anti-hero Venom slithers back to big screens with a new foe called Carnage.
Miss you so much. I don't have time for this.
We break down how Chris Pratt, Natalie Portman, and Christian Bale fit into the new film. A fourth Thor movie is in the works from co-writer, director, and Ragnarok Helmer, Taika Waititi, with Chris Hemsworth naturally returning as the God of Thunder, and Natalie Portman rejoining the MCU as Jane Foster, Thor's love interest, a character she hasn't played since 2013's The Dark World.
He's not interested.
I'm interested.
I'm not interested. It's time for you to go now. Okay.
Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige convinced Portman to meet with Waititi about the part, and the filmmaker may have swayed her decision by promising that Jane would be deemed worthy in the new film, i.e., she'll be able to wield Thor's hammer Mjolnir and harness his cosmic powers. Writer Jason Aaron and illustrator Russell Dauterman have spun a similar yarn in the Thor comic books since 2014. Beginning when Thor became unworthy and Foster took on the hammer to fight off an invasion of frost giants on Earth.
Run back home, little princess.
Dad.
Next.
It gets wild from here and may contain some MCU spoilers, as Waititi and Feige have both praised Aaron and Dauterman's work. Jane Foster is revealed as the new Thor, Dr. Doom walls off the multiverse and creates his own planet called Battleworld, where he rules as a god, Doctor Strange is his judge as Sheriff Strange, and an entire team of Thors police the planet, all of which is very much possible in the MCU after the upcoming Doctor Strange sequel introduces the Multiverse of Madness. Plus, Doctor Doom is rumored to appear in Black Panther 2, and Doom will almost certainly factor into the announced Fantastic Four reboot.
If this world must die, so that mine may live, so be it.
Jane Foster is among that force of Thors, as are Thunderer Thorleaf, who holds a record for arresting 13 Hulks in a single night.
He's a friend from work.
Throg, a frog named Puddlegump, who found a sliver of Mjolnir and became a green god of thunder.
Laugh or drop in shock. Ow! Ow! Ow!
Ribbit.
And the somehow even weirder Beta Ray Bill, a horse-faced Corbinite who has actually been around the Marvel Comics since 1983 and would make the wildest addition to an MCU that already includes a kleptomaniac raccoon and a tree with teen angst.
I am Groot.
When Christian Bale was first added to this cast, it was assumed he'd play Beta Ray Bill, but Feige countered that he'd be Gore the God Butcher, a vengeful alien who's on the warpath to kill every god in the universe after his prayers to save his family were unanswered.
Who will suffer? All will burn.
Oh, that's intense.
Gore could send Thor spiraling back into the depression caused by losing Jane and failing to stop Thanos' snap. But luckily, he'll have Star-Lord by his side to get him through the hard times. Chris Pratt let it slip that he'll shoot Love and Thunder in Australia during a chat with the king of spoilers and Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland.
I feel like no one knew that, bro. No, they knew that. They knew that. I think they knew that. No, they knew that. If they didn't, they know now. Well, they know now.
As for the love half of the title, clearly the return of Jane Foster will give Thor the feels, but Ragnarok and Endgame star Tessa Thompson has also announced that her character Valkyrie will return to search for her queen.
Do I know you? I feel like I've known you.
I know you too. It's weird.
And if Beta Ray Bill finally gets his 5 minutes of MCU fame, beyond what may have been his enormous bust in Ragnarok, we hope that old Horseface will also be on the quest for romance.
You have my sympathy because it will not be me!
For more trending tales of love and thunder,
Skrulls are the bad guys.
wow, Marvel, we get it. Carol Danvers loves punching old ladies. we just got a second sneak peek at the next chapter in the MCU. So let's break down the new Captain Marvel trailer. In March 2019, we'll see Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, aka Brie Larson, as a human-Kree hybrid, trying to piece together her past in order to harness her cosmic powers to fight the Kree-Skrull War. Simple, right? She'll be joined by future S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson.
Aren't you the cutest little thing?
Aren't you cute? And what's your name, huh?
Fury.
What's cute?
Despite the cuddliness of Fury's furry pal, Goose may be Chewie from the Captain Marvel comics, a dangerous alien creature called a Flurkin that resembles a house cat but has pocket dimensions and a mess of tentacles in his cute little mouth.
I'll be back.
Goose may also provide clues to the origin of Fury's eye patch, although we think it probably happened like this. One eye patch, please. Sure, what color? Black about the Fury and new Cap will team with alien race the Kree, including Jude Law, who plays Mar-Vell, and Annette Bening in a mysterious but key Kree role, as well as a few familiar Kree warriors.
Heroes. Noble warrior heroes.
Sorry, Kree noble warrior heroes like Korath the Pursuer and Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy. Since this movie is set in the 1990s, hence the Nine Inch Nails shirt, they're both very much alive and not entirely evil. Yet, back then, the Kree have bigger fish to fry. The Skrull, an alien race of shapeshifters that sometimes appear as old ladies on buses, or as ugly green goblin guys, or as Ben Mendelsohn, who plays Talos the Untamed.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
Alright, I like that confidence, new Cap, because the Kree-Skrull War is a tentpole of the Marvel Comics. An awesome entry for the MCU, and great training for your inevitable showdown with Thanos in Avengers 4. Think you can handle all that?
That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
You so much.
We missed you too? Anyway, let's break down the good, the bad, the ugly. After the breakout success of 2018's Venom starring Tom Hardy as both Eddie Brock and the alien creature or symbiote who lives inside his body and brain, giving him superpowers and a dangerously violent alter ego.
Good evening, Venom.
This is Jen.
He says hi. Sony doubled down on the title, pushing up this sequel as the second film of its MCU-adjacent Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters, or the SPU-MC.
Ta-da! Catch up.
Excuse me?
Yummy.
So clearly, Venom is still making a mess of Eddie's life. The San Francisco investigative journalist has also got himself entangled with an incarcerated killer named Cletus, played by Woody Harrelson, who just so happens to have an alien symbiote in his blood that turns him into Carnage, a villainous being who, true to his name, delights in destruction. Pre-Carnage Cletus is being held at Ravencroft Institute, an asylum for supervillains in the Marvel Comics universe, and the former site of a 15th century cannibal cult that worshipped the dark god Null. So the place definitely has a vibe. Ravencroft also houses Frances Barrison, aka Shriek, played by Naomi Harris, a sound-manipulating psychic who forms an unlikely bond with the titular Red Ripper. Shriek and Carnage form a faux family of other evil miscreants, playing mommy and daddy to the truly twisted trio of Doppelganger, Carrion, and Demogoblin. None of those baddies has been confirmed for this film, but Hardy's still got a third Venom movie in his contract, so expect to see a teaser too for the threequel.
No!
We had a deal.
The film will likely be a universe builder and expander as it fleshes out the epic and beloved 14-part Maximum Carnage saga from the comics. Since Sony and Marvel Studios recently reached an agreement to allow Tom Holland's Spider-Man to cross over into the SPU-MC films, there's a strong possibility that Sony will be able to be faithful to the comic book storyline of Venom teaming with Spidey to take down the Carnage family. Morbius the Living Vampire is also Team Spidey in Maximum Carnage, and it just so happens that he's getting a big screen standalone in early 2022, with Jared Leto as the conflicted bloodsucker. But that's all down the SPU-MC road. For now, let's just bask in director Andy Serkis's touching portrayal of breakfast for a boy and his alien symbiote.
Neither. Let's call the whole thing off.
Beautiful.
The Arrowverse, which includes 4 series based on DC Comics, Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow, is now prominent programming for the CW. But for a decade before Arrow started it all, the network had another DC show, Smallville, on which Hartley portrayed Green Arrow from 2006 to 2011. Those producers had considered a spin-off focusing on the Emerald Archer and his relationship with Lois Lane, but that never got off the ground.
This is gonna be harder than I thought.
New producers came in to launch their own Arrow and, quote, wanted to chart our own course with the casting. Amell, who had starred on shows like Hung and Private Practice, was actually the very first actor Arrow producers saw for the role. Meanwhile, Jacqueline McInnes Wood was cast as Sarah Lance, later known as fellow fighter White Canary, and played her in the pilot, but was replaced by Mad Men's Katie Lotz in the series, while Wood returned to The Bold and the Beautiful.
Wait, are you sure?
Amy Gumnick, who plays Arrow's villain Cupid, actually tried out for the show several times, including for Black Siren, the role that went to Gossip Girl alum Katie Cassidy. And Jess McCallan auditioned for Black Canary before landing Ava Sharp in the Arrowverse series Legends of Tomorrow a few years later.
Oh, we know exactly who you losers are.
Brandon Routh first auditioned for technology using superhero Blue Beetle on Arrow, but when producers discovered they didn't have the rights for that character, they moved the former Superman to the size-changing Atom.
That was pretty amazing.
Too Fast, Too Furious star Devon Aoki was originally cast to play Katana during Season 3 of Arrow, but had to back out due to scheduling conflicts, and the role went to Ryla Fukushima.
The danger in your old face is very real.
As for The Flash, lead Grant Gustin was also the first person producers saw for the role, and while it took 5 more auditions, he got the part.
I'm gonna need your help.
And for Supergirl, producers reportedly auditioned Vampire Diaries' Claire Holt and Hollyoaks' Gemma Atkinson, among hundreds of others, but gave the role to Melissa Benoist, who was, you guessed it, the first person to audition.
I'm Supergirl.
Arrowverse is now churning out TV stars on the regular and building a massive loyal fan base. You know, like that other universe.
Same thing.